gowar phali belongs to the group of 12 show phalis, because this is something which you also practice in pushing hands exercises with partner. And with partner, of course, this is also practiced faster as phali. So you will learn also gowar phali. Comparing to the phali movements, this phali will be a bit simpler because you will focus only on this, pulling back. Then just naturally moving to the starting position and repeating this movement. Here in this exercise you will not need to think about all those turnings. So it's like, you remember you did pinkweishi and you turn your palms, it was 5-5 position, and then pulling back, sitting down, all those forces of those springs. Elbow lower, here's some angle. Index finger in horizontal position. Thumb also bent, pointing in the same direction as it was some spring. Small finger a bit downward. So this movement will be more or less the movement which you will try to practice as phali. Some difference is that it was from 5-5 to weight mostly on back leg, and here we will start from a bit more weight on front leg, like 6 in front, 4 in back, and back heel is lifted above ground. Such a position actually you already learned in the first and in the second module. Because in the first module we introduced single pushing hands, first in fixed position and then with step, where you started from weight so-called 7 in back, but after pushing forward, here it was 6 in front, 4 in back, but heel up, and from here moving back. So it's the same position which you actually practice it at least a little bit. First module with forward and backward step, and second module single pushing hands with so-called round step, circular steps. So here you will start this movement not from 5-5 but 6 in front and heel up, and from here pulling, sitting down, toes grasping ground, spring here, stopping your further movement. Here idea of stretching, pulling. This movement, stretching, spring. Then there will be naturally moving back to the starting position, body slightly leaning forward, weight 6 in front, and moving again to this position. Of course we will do it a bit faster, but again remember, at this stage don't try to make it very fast, don't try to make it very explosive, very powerful. Focus on using your intent, on developing the feeling. Don't make it just empty movements, just empty blind practice. Try to focus on developing those internal feelings. So not too fast. But of course there is some speeding up, which you already did with Xiangqian phali, forward phali. You already started learning Yiquan straight punch, which was also practiced in a similar way. So also here I start pulling, feeling all those springs or elastic board here under my buttocks, below my buttocks. I'm sitting on it, it's bending. Slowly. At first back heel is up, then it's moving, it's kind of hitting the ground. Here you hitting, breaking this wooden board or wooden stick on which you are sitting, breaking all those springs, so suddenly the movement becomes faster. But as I said at the beginning, don't try to make it too fast. Slowly stretching, feeling all of the distances. Breaking those springs, breaking this wooden board or wooden stick here. And moving, naturally moving without thinking about turning, just keeping this vertical position of your palms, moving to this position. Pulling, stretching, break. Stop here. At the beginning it's good to stop. So not pulling too much and losing balance. Also with your hands, not pulling them too much back. See, the range of movement is the same as when you practice Pintwei Shili, as you practice gowar Shili. Here in front of your body, you should stop the movement if you embrace something solid and this object prevents you from pulling your hands too close to your body. Also, you have this idea of breaking those springs, but then it feels like most of them break, so this fast movement appears, but some of them don't break, so in final position they stop you, don't let you to move movement farther, not just breaking, but some stopping you here, and then move you to this position. So you'll be doing it like naturally moving back. You could use this idea of those springs which didn't break, pulling you back also. But first it's a very good idea to stop, to check the final position, and only if you are sure that you don't make big mistakes, you could try to do it a bit faster. Some mistakes would be, one, bending your body like this. So you're supposed to pull with your whole body here, this area, and also your shoulders should move back this way. This way your shoulders would move forward, so it wouldn't be this effect. Of course, this is something which you would use sometimes. For example, here, doing hitting with head at the same time. But here you're trying to learn this, pulling it back with your whole body. Not this, but also don't do this. Final position, body not exactly completely vertical, a bit leaning forward, but not too much. Important is that here you don't start from straight vertical position, but slightly leaning forward, pulling like this, as if trying to straighten, to move to a bit more vertical position, but not too much of this action. After you practice gowar Shili like this separately, I demonstrate it once more. Then you move to practice of gowar phali and xiang qian phali together. Gowar, pulling opponent, and then xiang qian, pushing opponent. You can start like this, from this position. Go. Now, don't try to move to the next movement too fast, too early. It will be very difficult to make progress. You will not feel your body too well. You will not feel the forces. You will not be able to notice some important things. So at the beginning, slower. And here, between those two phalis, make break. Of course, when you're actually using pulling opponent, you immediately want to push him. He's just losing balance at this moment. You suddenly issue power. So this way it will work in practice. But if from the very beginning you try practicing like this, you miss many things. You are not able to develop some important basic things. So at the beginning, slowly stop and then move to the next phali. Slowly, faster. Stop and focus on the feeling of unity, stability. See? You have strong posture, it's very close to Hunyuan Zhuang. And think for a moment about trying to push forward with your whole body, but the main points of contact in pushing hands are here. Not palm, not wrist, but forearm. When practicing more with partner, I will keep explaining more about this. Generally, in full contact fighting, when opponent is really hitting with big power, punch after punch, you will not try to make contact with your palm, but take it on kind of guard, making contact, redirecting, unbalancing him, or hitting at the same time, and the contact will come somewhere here on forearm. Also, in situations quite close contact, you have contact with opponent arm, like in pushing hands. If you have, for example, pulled him with palm and want to change to pushing or hitting, especially pushing, if you want to change to pushing, first you need to move your palm at some distance forward before you reach his body. But if you make contact on forearm, here you put him, but your palm is already, he's losing balance, his body is here, your palm is here, you immediately push. You will not have this effect, this ability, if you all the time thinking about contact here. If you have contact here, you're affecting opponent balance, unbalancing him, but you're at the same, almost the same moment, or exactly the same moment, your palm is already there and can push him. But now, like slowly, faster stop, idea of embracing the whole unit, body with your arms and something which you're embracing is trying to push forward. Back leg pushing the ground as if trying to straighten your whole body as if pushing forward. Then suddenly you remember as if someone is hitting you here and here. Bending forward phali. You learned forward phali this way, from this level, and forward phali. Now it's from here. So depending on the situation, there are different variants. In our basic exercise we practiced from here. And actually, when you will learn next of to show shillis and corresponding phali. When you put full anchu phali together with forward phali, it will become the first variant which you already learned. But now you don't move your hands here. You pulling here, keeping contact with opponent's arms, feeling his arm, controlling his arms, and from here pushing. After this, when pushing, not like this, because you're losing control. Now your arms are below opponent's arms. Here. You don't want to do this because you lose control, but you also partly push him through his arms. If he stands, actually, maybe you don't even reach his body with your palms, but you will issue power through your forearms. If he is too soft, then your palms will reach him and push him, but in any case, this way you will have better control. The whole action will be less risky for you. So, from here, gowar, slowly, xiangqian. Here, standing up a bit. Again, 6 in front, back heel up. It lifted up already as part of this action of forward phali. Of course, when you practice short power at higher level, there's not such a big movement of bending, or also you don't see this heel moving so much up, but now you're supposed to practice those exercises for beginners because they are very good at this stage and they help you to make faster progress than if you were trying to practice the way in which the masters are actually practicing. Slowly, faster, slowly, faster, slowly, and so on. So this way you're supposed to practice this. And I explained some things related to practice with partner already. So in next lesson you will be able to see my students practicing this as a partner exercise. Standing in front opponent, body frontal, feet like in moca bu or shilli with steps. And so here we practice in ding pa bu. In practice with partner it's a bit different. Feet like this, but it's basically the same movement. Gowar, stop, slowly, faster. Now I will talk a little bit more about this so you can better understand what my students will be demonstrating. Now is the time of the pandemic where it's difficult to make regular training, so it was difficult to find time to film this partner practice, but anyway we managed it a little bit. One of those students who are demonstrating is a bit higher level, another is more beginner, but anyway, you will be able to see how those exercises are practiced, but I will still explain now something important. I was telling you that here after this you stop, not immediately pushing forward, and in practice with partner you're supposed to do the same at this level. First movement, stop, then after a few seconds, second movement. Later there will be first movement, short stop, second movement. Later there will be first movement, second movement. Later there will be something which will seem like you do it like one movement. Pulling and pushing, it happens as if at the same time. So this is a higher level. But no point to move to higher stages because you would meet a lot of you would miss a lot of opportunities of learning some important basic things if you in too much hurry toward the highest goal. Slowly, carefully, step by step, but regularly, and very soon you will be able to learn the complete program at basic, intermediate, advanced level and post-advanced level 2. So when you practice with partner, if actually you use something like this in free pushing hands, in fighting, it happens that opponent is trying to take your guard down, for example, and you suddenly pull him, unbalance him, and immediately push him. So of course it will be short and fast movements, and basically you don't want to pull opponent too much toward you unless you want to change your position and throw him or something. But if you want to do it like unbalancing and immediately changing direction, you want to make the movement short and you want to make it very fast. So it will, now I'm the other person, partner in this exercise or opponent. So I become unbalanced, falling like this. Then the more I'm unbalanced and leaning forward, the more difficult it becomes to push me back. So if you want to do this, it's like slightly unbalancing, uprooting at this moment, already pushing. This way it will be efficient. But at the basic level, we focus on something different. So when I pull partner with quite a big movement, here keeping control, here he is already in this position, my palms on his chest, so he puts his weight on my hands. I don't push immediately, but I use this as a very good opportunity for practice with some actual force. So there is some weight, there is some force affecting my body. It gives me opportunity to check if I have strong position, strong structure, if I can take his weight here on my hands without feeling uncomfortable, without losing balance. The posture, the structure should be quite strong. So you spend several seconds for checking this, for getting feeling of this. After you check everything, okay, everything is correct, then push. First, start pushing from straightening back leg. Heel is still on the ground. When his body is moving, this second part with this more bending, with lifting back heel when he is already moving back, it's easier to speed up this movement and send him back at some more distance. So this time I introduced gowar, phali, but at the same time it was a bit of introduction to Xuan Tui Shou gowar, phali, double pushing hands gowar, phali, which is practicing this with partner.